Drug Enforcement Agency stops a black man at an airport for, well, he looks suspicious. I want you to take a look at him. He looks suspicious. That's why they stopped him. Uh, but does that mean that they had to steal $8,000 from him too? Let's find out. DA stopped Brian Moore Jr. at the airport and they took his money, then had him board his flight anyways without ever charging him. They just kept his money. They're the DEA. They can seize things, in this case, $8,000. Georgia man won a legal battle against the federal government after the Drug Enforcement Administration, DEA, seized thousands of dollars from him at Atlanta airport. Why? Because he looked suspicious. Thank you to Atlanta Black Star for the details here. Brian Moore Jr. was about to catch a flight to LA. This was in March 2021. DEA agents stopped him after witnessing what they believed to be suspicious behavior, court documents state. They questioned him, eventually obtained his consent to search his bag, which contained $8,500 in cash. So they seized the cash and let Moore board his flight without charging him with a crime. They told me that I looked suspicious and they were just going to take my money based off of the fact that I look suspicious. Moore telling WSB-TV. Hadn't done anything wrong. I wasn't doing anything wrong. Agents would claim they suspected the cash was tied to illicit drug activities. However, Moore, an aspiring music artist, was planning to use that money to finance a photo shoot and music video in LA. Moore then hired an attorney hoping the seizure of his money could be reversed. After over a year of litigation, the government asked the federal court to dismiss the case with prejudice and eventually returned Moore's $8,500. Does he get interest? I mean, this is bananas. Moore had just spent, though, more than $15,000 in legal fees. He sought help from the Institute for Justice to appeal his case to a federal appeals court. Costs money to defend your property against civil forfeiture. In Brian's case, it cost almost twice as much as the value of the property. Those who successfully fight the government's attempt to take their property deserve to be made whole. Attorneys for the Institute of Justice wrote, if they are not compensated for the cost of successfully litigating their case, even more property owners will simply give up rather than contest this government abuse. And when the government takes property from innocent people, it should be the one to pay. Last month, the federal appeals court ruled the government had to pay Moore's legal expenses. There's a victory. As well, I felt a little bit of justice finally, Moore recalled. For Atlanta Black Star's reporting, Dan Albin, the attorney who filed Moore's appeal, said civil asset forfeiture is often driven by profit. Wow, maybe it is a dictatorship. Since agencies can hold on to the money they seize, that gives them a strong incentive to engage in seizures and forfeiture of cash so they can supplement their budget and spend that money on virtually whatever they want. Oh, they could probably go to Nobu. Maz, that's expensive. Yeah. Maybe invite some people, an office party. I don't know. This is outrageous. And yet I'm mad about it, but not surprised. I don't understand why this man isn't compensated. He's not getting the legal money. He lost interest on his $8,500, aggravation, stress. Perhaps he even had to borrow or secure more funds to conduct his photo shoot, et cetera, in Los Angeles. It's like the government will not like it. They're saying, who won't check me, boo? They're just saying it every day to everyone. What say you?
Well, first of all, when I read the article, I think it said that he got the legal fees back, but to your point, he didn't get any kind of interest or any extra compensation. And it indicated that many people, because of the cost to fight the government, many people don't fight the government. They let the money go. And so there's a few issues here. First of all, this was, I think, in 2021. And so this was during the Biden administration. And this is another point to show that we do have and continue to have systemic racism because they stopped a suspicious man who is a person of color. The same way now they're going around and stopping suspicious people who are people of color and they're saying that you're probably not a citizen, and they're arresting them and taking them away. So this is a systemic thing, and I function under the belief that our law enforcement has some protocols that they have to abide by, and I was under the impression that if they seize something like that, you would think them investigating to see if it's legitimate or if it's illicit. You would think that they could do that in a 24-hour period, just a Google search or a couple of things, and go, oh, this person is not the person we thought they were, or whatever. But here we find out, no, they're actually taking the money and they're keeping it to go, to your point, to Nobu or wherever they want to go to. And this is a loophole that they should not be allowed to have. And this gentleman here should get interest on this money that sat there for that long. Like, how much would it have gained if he'd put that money into the stock market or whatever, invested it somehow? So yeah, it's pretty disheartening to find out the DEA can just do that, just point you out and be like, hey, you look suspicious, give me your money.
And as you mentioned, our friends on the Supreme Court have now made it just fine. Looks Hispanic. I think I'll go ahead and pull them over. Something about the grounds being because, well, there's a lot of Hispanic people who live in this area, so we've got to just basically put them all under indictment. Okay, same way this behavior is incentivized, right? Because you're right. It's very difficult. This was a man who was dogged in his fight for justice. I mean, if he's that dangerous, why are you letting him get on the plane? Okay. If he's an illicit drug guy taking the money to LA, why'd you let him get on the plane? And I just meant the $15,000, which sounds very reasonable. I'm somebody who's paid a lot of legal fees. Don't ask Maz. Maz, I don't want to get into it. I don't want to talk about it. He's part of my past. So I'm leaving him there. So I'm begging you, please. You're my friend. Let it go.
Yeah.
But I paid a lot of legal fees. $15,000. It's not going to him. It's going to the lawyers who earned it. So I'm disgusted. And I suspect I'll continue to be disgusted by the conduct of our government. Folks, wake up. We're already there.